So going to our last starter kit here, we are going to the Lord of the Rings Universes Beyond Tales of Middle-earth starter kit, which has Aragorn and Arwen wed, and what's it called? It's Sauron the Lidless Eye.
You could read the back cover, for ease.
Yeah.
So there's 2 decks ready to play. There
2 deck boxes. I like how they have an asterisk next to deck boxes.
Rakdos, and I love how black looks purple on the boxes. It's very confusing.
Well, because black on black doesn't show up very
That's
well.
true.
So it is Rakdos and
White and green.
Begins with an S.
Simic? No. Selesnya.
Selesnya, yes.
We got there.
Good job.
So we've actually played this starter kit before. We've given it a review, and we're just kind of revisiting and seeing
deck boxes, though.
If we feel the same way, or if our opinions have changed since the first time.
Starter kit play guide.
We've explored Middle Earth.
Starting a tabletop game. Okay. One thing I would say is I feel like they should just come with paper playmats. Why do they never come with paper playmats?
Because
I'd rather have that instead of the deck boxes.
I mean, at least they're kind of nicely designed. The ring looks cool. So last time we played, I believe I played the Forces of Good and you played the Forces of Evil and absolutely crushed me.
I thought I played the good guys and you played Sauron, but I could be wrong.
I feel like I wouldn't let myself play Sauron.
So who do you want to play? You can pick.
I'll play the good folk. I'm just going to lose again. I have no hope of winning. I think our main comment last time was we didn't like the amount of vanilla cards in these, but I don't remember much else of what was said other than at the time it didn't seem balanced because I got hopelessly crushed, as is typical.
I believe the mana cost of the bad deck was higher, if I'm not mistaken.
It's been a few years, so we'll revisit now, refresh ourselves.
Okay, there's a pull tab on here.
There is a pull tab, but I'm having issues getting the pull tab. It's not as well integrated as the previous pull tab. I might have to have you use this. Do for me what I cannot do for myself. But I like the art. They have some cards that are exclusive to this that I actually use in Commander, like Galadriel Gift Giver. Aragorn and Arwen Wed is another one. It has Vigilance. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. You gain 1 life for each other creature you control, which, although expensive, is not a bad card.
This one comes with food tokens.
We have Frodo, Gandalf, Galadriel. We have the Ring of Bilbo. And, our favorite vanilla cards, which we commented about last time.
Oh my god, there's Evolving Wilds in here.
Yep. And Monodorks.
I don't think I have any Monodorks.
I feel like green is the main color for Monodorks. I mean, most colors have them, but like green's like...
There's colorless ones. There's a fair amount of colorless ones.
Like the Myrrh.
The Mirror.
The Mirror. The Myrrh. Oh, I have a Tolkien. And I have another Tolkien.
Tolkien? This whole thing is
Tolkien.
A
Tolkien token. Oh, I see what you did there, Jeremy. You making fun of me, boy. I don't appreciate that. You're hurting my feelings, Jeremy. As the provider of thine magic cards, I do declare that I don't appreciate you hurting my feelings. So, yeah. Oh. Bag and Porter, how dare you reveal yourself to mine eye? I wonder if you get a better shuffle because you make more piles.
Maybe.
And these are like organized in a specific way.
When I initially pile shuffle, like one of these straight out of the box, I will separate the lands into their own thing, and I will make piles of the lands. And then take the rest of the cards and pile shuffle them over the lands, so I know that the lands are spread out, and then I will shuffle them. Because I have the best shot of them just not ending up in one like pile in the center of the deck. which has no lands on the top or the bottom.
So I'm just not doing great. I can't even remember the last time I won a match against you at this point. It's been a while.
I mean, you win matches. It's just not usually on camera.
He's lying, guys, to make me feel better.
That's true. You haven't won a match in a while. But that's okay.
We got some honesty. It's okay.
We get to have fun.
We do.
We get to have fun. And the deck building part of Magic is better than the playing of Magic. So
I just like being obnoxious. And that's why everyone hates me.
Lean back because my back hurts. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second. 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess.
Oh, no.
I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm going to live dangerously.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. We're
just going to go. There's no free mulligans in standard, so I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
Oh, I don't draw. I'm going to play a mountain.
How dare you?
And pass.
I'm going to draw a card. Oh, we're not doing good. We got a forest up in here. It is, in fact, a forest. We're going to pass our turn.
I draw. Oh, that's not what we wanted to see. Play swamp, tap 2.
Yes. Yes.
Goblin Assailant. Vanilla card. Goblin Warrior. Pass.
Okay. Mushroom Watchdogs. If I sack a food, I can put a 1/1 counter on Mushroom Watchdogs. It gains vigilance until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery.
Okay.
That's it. I'm not a hasty boy, man.
Hey, we got a land.
You did get a land. It's a very pretty land, too. Now what are you going to do?
Interesting.
Interessante.
We're going to tap 3. I'm going to play Fires of Mount Doom, which is a legendary enchantment. I'm going to deal 2 damage to your guy on ETB and destroy all equipment attached to it. It's actually not a bad card, honestly, especially against like a Voltron commander, because it doesn't even say that it has to kill it in order for you to destroy all equipment. It just destroys it regardless of whether it kills it. I can also pay 2 and a red to exile the top card of my library, and I may play that card this turn. When I play a card this way, Fires of Mount Doom deals 2 damage to each player. Each player, so it deals it to me too.
I know what each player means.
I will swing for the people at home watching the starter kit thing.
True.
I will swing for 2.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't reset the light.
How dare you? I've been wounded.
Pass.
Okay, well. Off to a great start. Here's another forest to add to my collection of forests. I can't even use that to my advantage right now. Fool of a Took enters the battlefield. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional food token are created instead.
That's not a bad card.
Sack 3 foods to draw a card. I mean, it's more helpful if I actually have food.
Is that the one that goes crazy with Nuka-Cola?
Probably.
I know one of the Peregrine Took cards does. We draw a card. We want it to be a land.
I think that's the only Peregrine Took card.
Well, I mean, there's, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to not play the card I wanted to play because I did not draw a land. I'm going to tap these 2, though, and I'm going to play Goblin Fire Leaper.
That sounds dangerous.
You are a
2/3.
Oh, and I will pass my turn.
What? Okay. Tap 2. This is my favorite part of this card, guys. Woe's Pathfinder. I can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So now I finally have access to white because apparently I'm allergic to plains now.
Apparently.
But this is the best part. If I pay 6 in a green, I can tap her to give another target creature 3/3 and trample until end of turn.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
You have to tap her though, right?
Yeah, isn't that just amazing?
It's pretty good.
Best ability. 6 in a green? That's so inexpensive.
Yeah.
For one guy? Crazy. I'm sorry, I'm done now.
I mean, granting trample's not bad if you have a big guy in the field, but yeah.
For 7?
But it's also a mana dork, so that's the extra effect that you don't necessarily expect to always use, but
or want or need.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Hey, we got a land. Okay, I am going to tap 4 to play Foray of Orcs.
How
I'm
dare
going to make
you?
an orc army. I'm going to amass orc 2. So that means that I make an orc army and put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Or I would put counters on an existing army, but since I didn't have one, I created one. So it's a 2/2. When I do, Foray of Orc deals X damage to target creature and opponent controls, where X is the amass army's power. So I could kill your mana dork. But I'm not going to kill your mana dork, even though it's probably the smarter move. I'm going to target
My Fool of a Took?
your Fool of a Took and deal 2 damage to it. I am then going to swing my Goblin Fire Leaper and my Goblin Assailant at you.
Goblin Fire Leaper seems to have a paid ability.
Yeah, I can buff it, but I don't have any mana. But when he dies, he deals 1 damage to target creature, and this is just a 2/2, vanilla 2/2.
Okay, I'll just take it.
You're just going to take the 3?
Yeah. Maybe I'll regret this later on, but maybe I won't.
Pass.
There's a chance, because I am in white, that I will have things that give lifelink. I don't remember. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the earth. We're going to pay 3 to get my own very special vanilla card in white. So I'm like extra vanilla.
Extra vanilla.
It's a 3/2 called Knight of the Keep. It's a human knight, by the way. In case you couldn't figure that out. It's a
The
human.
flavor text.
Yeah. Now the cries of clear, strong voices come ringing over the fields. They rode in. A long line of mail-clad men, swift, shining, fell and fair to look upon. Suddenly they swept up with a noise like thunder, and the foremost horseman swerved.
Are you doing anything else?
That's it. That's literally it, man. I'm reading some flavor text for the people. That's all I got.
Play swamp. Okay. I'm going to tap 3 and 4 to play Foray of Orcs. And I'm going to amass Orcs 2. So this is going to now be 4. Now I'm going to deal 4 damage to kill Peregrine Took.
That's freaking rude. My Fool of a Took didn't do anything to you.
And I will swing my guys at you again.
I'm going to block that one with this.
Okay, so they'll do 1 damage to each other. When this dies, I'll do an additional damage to kill it.
Okay.
And 2 will get through.
Doing great. Doing great, forces of good.
Pass.
All right, now as the forces of good, naturally I have to win. That's the rules. That's how books work. But this isn't a book, so maybe I will lose anyway. I'm going to play yet another Plains. It's going to be glorious. I'm going to then 1, 2, 3, 4. For Gandalf White Rider with Vigilanza. Whenever you cast a spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn, and I get to scry 1. When Gandalf dies, you may put it into its owner's library, 5th from the top. Very specific.
Very specific.
What if there aren't 5 cards? What if I can't put it 5th from the top? Does that ability just die?
I don't know, actually. It might just fizzle. We will untap. Are you doing anything else?
Nope. I'm good.
I will draw. I will play a mountain.
That's rude. I'm gonna do fun things soon because I have 5 mana now. Sort of. I kind of have 6 because I have a mana dork. You don't. Get good scrub. Says the person who's lost every match this evening.
I am going to tap 5 to play Sauron of the Lidless Eye.
Great.
I'm going to steal your Gandalf.
Steal him?
Yeah, until end of turn.
But that's my Gandalf.
He gains haste.
So rude, man.
I'm going to swing at you.
I'll block the orc army.
Okay. So 5 will get through.
Ugh.
I will end my turn, and you will get Gandalf back.
So kind of you. To give me my things. Okay. Vanishing Light. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Good day to you, Sauron.
Exiled.
You have been banished.
Oh, now you can swing because I don't have any blockers.
Yes, I will swing for Thra. 4, actually. Whenever you cast a spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. I get to scry 1. Oh. Yes.
Anything else?
Interessante. No, that is all. Oh, I should have played different. Oh, well.
Do you want to?
Nah, I'm not a little baby about things. I gotta learn for that one guy who wouldn't actually let me do it, you know? Because there's always going to be one of those somewhere in the universe.
To play an Evolving Wilds, everybody knows the best card. And I'm then going to play a Snarling Warg. As long as I control an orc
Which you do.
or a goblin, which I do.
You doubly
Snarling
do.
Warg gets +1/+0. I mean, I might as well just crack the Evolving Wilds. I'm not gonna save it for like end step or whatever.
End step. Instep. Nose. I'm just kidding. We're not doing great.
The one thing I will say is once I destroy that, I get the ETB trigger again.
That's true.
Which I would not have gotten if you didn't exile it. Do I just swing?
Do you just swing?
I'll swing out with my orc army for 4.
Okay.
Just take the 4. Pass.
Yeah.
No cards in hand.
I did notice.
Oh, this went. This is tapped.
Okay, well.
This is menace too, by the way.
That guy?
Mm-hmm.
Great. He's a 3/4?
No, he's a 4/4.
Great.
Unless you do something big.
I'm going to have a target creature I control deal damage equal to its power to target creature I don't control. Goodbye, little boy. And I'm going to create a food token.
You can attack this. Because they'll have 4 damage. because you cast a spell.
It's true.
Which would be the better target.
Oh yeah, you're right. Then I'm going to. What I realized is I could have cast this last turn. Frodo! Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may attach target equipment you control with mana value 2 or 3 to Frodo. I don't have that. As long as your turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Frodo. That is all. Frodo! Sam.
Let's see what we draw.
Frodo! Sam. Missing a lot of land drops, yo. Which is not good. Cannot afford to miss the land drops.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, I don't like that. That's a big card.
Holy font.
No. With trample. I can see trample from here.
Yes. Whenever it attacks, another target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample until end of turn.
So I'm not going to last long. I'm not long of
But
this
I don't have trample currently.
Yep.
And you would just negate damage. Oh no, it's as long as it's your turn.
Mm-hmm. As long as it's my turn. Okay. So I have to block the big boy or I lose.
Actually, I'll just swing with this guy. I mean, you can block it with either of them.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have trample. But actually these two won't. That'll just die.
Yes, I am aware. And then unfortunately, Gandalf's gonna die. It can go 5th from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm surprised you killed Gandalf.
I make weird decisions. That it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna help? What are? Many partings. I gotta search for a basic land, reveal it, put it into my hand, then shuffle, creating a food token. So I now have 2 food tokens. This is not helpful. You are useless. I don't like you right now. Okay, we're just gonna do that. It went into my hand and then I put it onto the battlefield.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Anything else?
Yes, I have things to do. I can't believe how bad this hand is. 2, 2. Foods have been cracked, going up 6.
You had 3 foods.
2.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we're doing great. Everything's beautiful. I don't think I can win.
I'm gonna tap 3 to exile the top card of my library. I may play it this turn. It is a Goblin Assailant. I will tap 2 to play Goblin Assailant. I deal 2 damage to each player.
Rakdos shenanigans. Rakdos shenanigans.
I will play a land for turn. And I will swing. Oh, I can't swing with that. I will swing outright, giving my this +2/+0 and trample.
I can't. Even if I blocked.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Because even if you block it, it'll negate the damage to that, but it'll still trample over. Well, I would imagine it would still trample over because it would apply damage that would be lethal. And it's not your turn, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't get that down, but because these 2 would just deal damage even if this was negated.
Yeah. So I would have gotten a land and a land and a land. Oh, and then I would have gotten the East Farthing Farmer.
Ooh, I could have amassed orcs again. A Mind Stone. Another Evolving Wilds. A Shelob's Ambush. That's pretty nice. Create a food token. A target creature gets +1/+2 and gains Death Touch until end of turn. For a 1 black pip. That's pretty good. Mordor Trebuchet.
I have so many of those. Oh my god, they did the thing. You cannot or shall not pass.
Oh, they said
or you cannot pass. Sorry.
Balrog is in here.
Yep. It's weird because it's a 1-pip instant. Destroy target creature that blocked or was blocked by a legendary creature this turn. It's like a little bit specific. Just a little bit specific.
Nasty End. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. It's 1 and a black. Draw 2 cards. If sacrificed creature was legendary, draw 3 cards instead. Witch King, Bringer of Ruin.
It is, in fact, the Bringer of Ruin.
Flying. Whenever Witch King, Bringer of Ruin attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature with the least power among creatures they control. Oh, that's kind of the opposite of how you'd normally want it to be. But it's 4 and 2 black. And it's a 5/3.
Wound up on nearly the bottom of my beautiful little board here. But I think playing this the second time around, I feel like I lasted longer this time than I did last time. They try to balance the fact that deck has bigger things, I think, as a whole, than this deck, with the fact that this one has food from the hobbits. To counteract the life loss when I can't keep up.
There's a lot of amass cards in here. Like, these are just cards that, like, this just adds to an orc army. These just amass orcs by playing them. So you can get some pretty good big orcs out of this. Some of this makes foods, too. You can make food tokens. And Feed the Swarm was my next card I would have drawn, which would have blown up your thing and gotten me my Sauron back.
Rude.
Getting the Sauron was also nice. And these 2 cards, or the fiery whatever orc things that amass orcs, I had 2 of them in my hand from the start. So once I was able to play them and being able to direct deal damage to creatures, as well as make a big guy, it's pretty good.
But I am armed with food.
So overall, you think they're balanced?
I think that this one will struggle if that one hits off faster, which I feel like it could because of red, but green is supposed to ramp. But I don't really see, like, there is some ramp in here because, I mean, we have, like, many partings, for example, but not, like, enough ramp where I feel like it really works. I think that they definitely gave us a lot of food because, hobbits, but also to just offset things like trample. But I don't think it's enough to really offset what's happening with that deck. Because, like, black and red are, like, the murder colors. And, like, white usually has lifelink. I mean, I have, like, a flyer in here. I've got, like, vigilance. Like, I don't really see, I'm just flipping through it really fast, like, things in here with lifelink, which is what you would kind of expect from white, but they did give you the food stuff, but you have to pay to use the food stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's not really like a fast makeup for something where your stuff might be slightly more expensive. I didn't really look too deeply into the curve.
It definitely seems like it's...
But if you're just getting them out and I'm not, and then I have to pay for the food after paying another card to get the food or doing something to get the food, like, it just doesn't really work. And I have some things for removal. I mean, I have, like, Banishing Light and whatnot, but I don't think it's enough. The other thing I find interesting about this is that this is a starter kit. It has the booklet with the keywords, but the keywords aren't on this. It tells you what food does over and over, in case you weren't clear on what food is and how food works. But the other keywords aren't written there, and I feel like if I'm a starting player, I'm going to want to know what they mean directly on the card as opposed to having to refer to something.
I think that's a product of this being the latest one of these 3 that we
Well,
And the second one didn't do it either.
no.
Because like they had already kind of stopped doing that for the most part in Magic for just straight up keywords.
Yeah.
They really weren't putting them on cards anymore. So they just weren't going to put them on the cards because a lot of these cards were like, you know, from the Lord of the Rings, and they had a lot of flavor stuff on them, and they had a lot of text on them in general. So there probably wasn't room to put the explanation of what all the keywords do. And they had to run it through the Lord of the Rings licensed people.
True, but I think it's interesting if you're making a product for essentially new players and you don't have that information up front and accessible. I feel like that's a weird decision.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the first deck we played this evening was, you know, this global series, which isn't marketed as a starter kit like the other two we played. It's essentially a similar product, but it isn't exactly the same. But that one was the most accessible if you're just going into it and you want things on the card itself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad. I do think that one was the most balanced. Like the other two, I feel like you crushed me a lot faster. With that one, I feel like I put up more of a fight in the beginning, but then you caught up because I delayed the game too much. Like I couldn't do enough damage.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I was just like, I'm just sitting here. And I think part of that's because I wasn't getting colors, but I think part of it's just like the way the decks are designed too. I don't think it can keep you up if you're doing things so quickly.
Yeah. I agree. I think the evil one looks like it's stronger, though Galadriel is a really good card.
Yeah.
If you can get it on the field.
The gift giver.
Yeah, and I don't remember what the other, but Arwen and Aragorn does. But
I'll find it while you're chatting with
I remember it being a pretty decent card. But there's like just the ability to amass orcs repeatedly, because there was like just some 2-drop birds and 2-drop creatures that were good creatures to get out for 2-drop and amassing orcs at the same time. So you're essentially getting 2 creatures for the price of 1, or buffing or putting counters on an existing creature for the price of 2 pips.
So Galadriel Gift Giver is a 5-drop, 3 generic, 2 green. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, I get to choose one, put a 1/1 counter on another target creature, which is another way to counteract your things, but I have to attack or she has to enter. Mm-hmm. So a very limited scope of being able to do that.
Also has ramp though, so you can make a treasure token.
Create a food token or create a treasure token. Yeah. But I feel like because I have to do things in order to get X in order to counteract you, it just doesn't work. Like, it's not just like, hey, here's a card, I play it, and now I can instantly counteract you. I have to do this other step in order to counteract you.
If you get it set up, though, like, and can keep her on the field, like, she can do a lot of work for you. Just go look at our Lathril match. Like, I had her on the field, and she was basically acting as a second commander for me.
Yeah. And then Aragorn and Arwen Wed is 1 white pip, 1 green, and then 4 generic, 3/6 human elf noble with vigilance. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control. You gain 1 life for each other creature you control. Again, you have to attack in order to get it, but it is a way to counteract. I just think it's a little slower than just it exists and therefore I'm doing the thing.
Yeah, you get them both on the field, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but the best you can do is probably turn 5 and 6 if you happen to just pull them at the same time.
If you happen to have, it's not like Commander where you would have them in your hand already.
Potentially, or at least one of them out.
Mm.
So I think there's just a little too much work involved to deal with that color deck in order for this one to perform better most of the time. I think sometimes like people get mono screwed, they get color screwed, whatever, and it just doesn't work out. But I think in general, that one's going to perform better than this one.
I think so too. If you were to take all of the potential commanders out of all of them, I think that one has the better commander choices. Yeah. Like Galadriel and Aragorn Arwen are better commander options than Lidless Eye. Because Lidless Eye, once you cast it, only has you cast it, you get to steal somebody's creature till the end of the turn, but then all it has is a pay 3 buff your creature's ability on it. So, I mean, I guess that's fine, but for a commander ability, that's not typically. You can just drop it at a good time and grab somebody's good card. But, I mean, unless you're, I don't know what you'd be building around it, but.
Or finishing someone off.
Yeah.
It's
not as a commander. And there wasn't, I don't know if there were, I'm sure there were other Rakdos options, but nothing that immediately caught my eye. Balrog, I guess, was one of them. But I think we're gonna wrap it up there, right?
Yeah, I think all in all, the first set with the Chinese Global Series felt the most balanced. I think in terms of useful cards, this set might have more useful cards because I see a lot more of these in Commander play, for example, than I think any of the others, although there are a few cards that do turn up. And I think like in terms of value, this one might be the best as long as you can still get it around that like $15 price because there are cards, all of them have them, I'm pretty sure, especially the Global Series, but all of them have cards that are exclusive to the set. So you can't get them like outside of the starter kit. But I think these, in terms of value, are not only better cards, but more expensive cards than the others. It's that Lord of the Rings tax.
Yeah. Yeah, that first one was probably my favorite out of all. And it's the one I'd be excited to like turn into something. Like with some restrictions, maybe we can stream it down the line.
Any final thoughts?
This would actually be kind of interesting as a commander. It's just a 2, just Rakdos. Menace, if one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on an army, a goblin, or an orc you control, that many +1 +1/+1 counters will be put on it instead. So it's basically just like hardened scales as a commander, but only for armies, goblins, and orcs. But it is an orc, so you could buff it. And
there are a lot of those now.
Yeah. So that would probably be my choice as a commander out of all of these if I was going to build a commander out of it.
Which you could. There are options, Jeremy. There are many options.
There's also this, which can where you buff this whenever a creature you control dies. And if the creature was a goblin or an orc, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on him instead. So he would just build himself up and up and up and up. So these two work well together. Either one of those I think would be better than Sauron as a commander.
He's not a good Sauron. There are better Saurons.
Yes, there are better Saurons. So yeah, wrapping it up there. We appreciate everybody who joined us today. And I guess we'll probably have the VODs up on the channel. Maybe we'll post later on so you can see just the individual matches if you want to revisit them. But like the stream, like the VOD, comment down below. Let us know some other things that you might want to see us do on stream. If there's any other like kits out there. I know there used to be like the dual decks and stuff. I don't know. We don't really have any of those currently, but we could get them theoretically depending on how much they cost. Let us know what else you might want to see. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this content going forward and ring that bell so you know what's up. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Hi, Tisha Valenza, aka Poison Ivy, and you've just been watching King's Entertainment Reviews. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.